Hey everyone, welcome to Third Eye and Truth. This is a space for clarity, intuition, and grounded truth, where we slow down enough to hear what's real beneath the noise. On this season, I'm going to be talking about trauma and what trauma revealed. I've lived through abuse that wore a uniform and abuse that wore intimacy. I've had my freedom taken externally, and long before that, internally. Somewhere between control, isolation, and silence, something in me woke up. Not to escape pain, but to stop abandoning myself inside it. This is not a story of me being a victim. This is a story of remembering who I was. Everything else was stripped away. I want to start the season with the truth I carried for a very long time. The people I trusted the most were the ones who were supposed to protect me, but they were the ones who hurt me the most. They hurt me emotionally, mentally, and physically. Every word, every action, every hit taught my body how to survive before my mind could even understand what was happening. This is where my story begins, in the space where love and harm were indistinguishable, and survival became the first language I learned. Being hurt by those I trusted most didn't feel dramatic. It didn't come with alarms or witnesses. It came in quiet ways, in sharp words, in silences that weighed on my chest, in physical hits that reminded my body who had power. And because these were the people I looked for safety to, I learned to doubt myself before I doubted them. That doubt followed me into every room I entered, every relationship I had, and every moment I had to protect myself. When harm comes from those you depend on, the body adapts before the mind can process it. It learns to stay alert inside intimacy. It learns to anticipate mood, tone, and action. It learns to shrink, disappear, and soften to survive without protest. What looks like intuition or sensitivity later in life is often the nervous system remembering survival. I became fluent in survival. I could read rooms before I could speak. I could anticipate danger before it arrived. I could manage emotions that weren't mine. Nothing about it was weakness. It was a skill learned too young, too often in spaces where I had no choice. Later in my adult life, chaos didn't feel unfamiliar, and control felt very familiar. Emotional unpredictability felt like connection, and being needed felt like belonging. This wasn't a lack of worth. It was a nervous system repeating what it knew. Adaptation keeps you alive. Every pattern, every response, every instinct was survival in action. For a long time, I thought my sensitivity and depth of awareness were purely spiritual gifts, and in part they were, but part of them were born from survival. Trauma sharpens perception, and awareness softens it. Learning the difference between the two changed everything. By the time my life reached its breaking point, nothing was sudden. Years of betrayal, silence, physical harm, and emotional collapse had compressed my spirit. My nervous system was exhausted. My sense of self was fragmented between survival and longing. And at one point, something had to give. Before awakening, there was a question, quiet but persistent. Who am I if I stop surviving? Who am I if I stop adapting? It didn't come with answers. It came with stillness, a space to feel what had been stored for years. This season isn't about defining myself by the harm I endured. It's about naming the patterns and the survival that shaped me. Because when harm comes from those you depend on, awakening starts with understanding yourself before you can trust the world again. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.